And if you are new to this channel, if you have been guided here today, understand that there are no accidents. You are here because a part of your soul is searching for this knowledge. So, subscribe to our channel and click that bell icon. We are on a sacred mission to reach 100,000 souls who are ready to reclaim their divine inheritance of spiritual and financial freedom. Join us.
Now, let me take you back to a time in my life that I don't often speak about. It was a time of deep spiritual frustration. On the outside, everything looked fine. I was a rabbi, a teacher, a husband, a father. I was doing everything I was taught to do. I was praying daily. I was giving charity. I was studying the texts. I was, by all external measures, a good man. But internally, I was in turmoil. My finances were a constant source of anxiety. It felt like I was running on a treadmill, working harder and harder just to stay in the same place. There was a ceiling above my head, a glass barrier I could not break through. I would see others around me, people who were not, let's say, as diligent in their spiritual practice, and they would receive what looked like lucky breaks. A sudden business opportunity, an unexpected inheritance, a promotion that came out of nowhere. And I would feel this knot in my stomach, a mix of envy and confusion. I would ask God, Master of the universe, what am I doing wrong? I am following your laws. I am doing the work. Why does your blessing flow to them and not to me? It was a crisis of faith, not in God, but in my understanding of how God operates in the world. The breaking point came one Tuesday afternoon. I was researching an investment in a small technology company. I had done my due diligence, the numbers made sense, but I hesitated. For 3 days, I kept seeing the number 444. It was everywhere. On a license plate that cut me off in traffic. The time on the clock when I woke up in the middle of the night. The final bill at a restaurant was $44.40. My intuition, that small, still voice within, was screaming at me, "This is it. Move now." Exhales sharply, but my logical mind, my Yetzer Hara, the evil inclination, whispered back, "It's a coincidence. Don't be a fool. It's just your mind playing tricks on you." So I waited. I let the fear and doubt paralyze me. A week later, that small company announced a major partnership. The stock value didn't just climb, it exploded. It went up 500% in a single day. The opportunity wasn't just missed, it was a fortune that had knocked on my door and I had refused to answer. The pain of that loss was immense, but it was more than just financial. It was a spiritual agony. I fell to my knees and I cried out, "God, were you not listening, or was I not hearing?" That moment of rock bottom became the foundation for my greatest breakthrough. The pain was so intense that it shattered my old paradigms. It forced me to abandon everything I thought I knew about prayer, wealth, and divine communication. I locked myself away with the ancient texts, not just the Talmud and the Torah, but the deep mystical texts of the Kabbalah, the Zohar, the writings of the Ari, Rabbi Isaac Luria. I wasn't just reading, I was meditating on the letters, seeking not just information but a transformation of consciousness. And then it came. It wasn't a voice from the heavens, it was a quiet unfolding, a realization that was so simple and yet so profound it shook me to my core. The universe is always communicating with us, always. There is a constant stream of information flowing from the divine source into our physical reality. Wealth isn't just sent to us like a package in the mail. It is a current, a flow, and that flow is always preceded by signals, by ripples in the fabric of reality. My mistake was that I was looking for a finished result. I was praying for a check to appear in my mailbox, for the money to be in my bank account. I wasn't listening for the instructions that lead to the money.
I wasn't looking for the signs that precede the manifestation. That day, my entire spiritual practice shifted. I stopped praying for things, and I started praying for the clarity to see. I stopped asking for results, and I started asking for the wisdom to recognize the path. It was a shift from begging to listening, from being a passive recipient to an active co-creator. This is not a new idea, my friends. This is an ancient spiritual technology embedded within our sacred texts. Look at the story of Joseph in the book of Genesis. Pharaoh has two dreams, one of 7 healthy cows being devoured by 7 sickly cows, and one of 7 full ears of grain being consumed by 7 thin ears. Everyone in his kingdom, all the magicians and wise men, were stumped. They saw the dreams as meaningless nightmares, as random noise. But Joseph, who was connected to a higher level of consciousness, understood. He didn't see noise, he saw a signal. He saw a communication from the divine. He told Pharaoh, "The dreams are not 2 separate events. They are one message. God is showing you what He is about to do." The dreams were the signs of 7 years of massive abundance followed by 7 years of devastating famine. Joseph didn't create the abundance. He didn't pray for the famine to go away. He interpreted the signs and created a protocol to manage the flow of reality. He saved an entire civilization not through magic, but through his ability to read the signals. This is the spiritual technology I want to give you today. Think of the universe as a massive broadcasting station, constantly emitting frequencies of information. Your consciousness, your neshama, your soul, is the receiver. Most people's receivers are turned off, or they are tuned to the wrong frequency, the frequency of fear, of lack, of "I am not worthy." The signs are the specific broadcasts on the frequency of abundance. When you learn to tune your receiver to this frequency, you begin to pick up the signals before they manifest into physical reality. Why does this work? Because creation is a system of cause and effect, but it begins in the spiritual realms. A spiritual cause, a decision in the heavenly court to release a flow of blessing into your life, creates a subtle, energetic effect first. This is the sign. It is a ripple in the spiritual world. Only after that does it manifest as a gross, physical effect, like money appearing in your bank account. By learning to recognize the sign, the initial ripple, you can align yourself with the cause. You can take the actions necessary to receive the physical manifestation. You are no longer hoping for a lucky break. You are participating in the process of creation itself. So how do we do this? How do we tune our receiver? We do it through a specific actionable framework. I call it the Divine Abundance Signal Protocol. And the core of this protocol is the recognition of the 3 primary signs that the universe sends when wealth is imminent. I want you to be very clear about this. These are not vague feelings or generic good luck charms like a 4-leaf clover. These are specific, verifiable, and often unsettling indicators that your personal reality is about to be upgraded. They are signs that your spiritual frequency is now in resonance with the frequency of abundance. Over the next few minutes, I am going to deconstruct each of these 3 signs for you. I will explain what they are, how to recognize them, and most importantly, the spiritual mechanism that makes them work. Pay very close attention. Take notes if you must. By the end of this video, you will possess the spiritual technology to never miss a divine signal again. You will walk through the world with your eyes open, not just your physical eyes, but the eyes of your soul, and you will see the pathways to wealth that have been hidden from you in plain sight. Let us begin with the first and most common signal. I call it the sign of synchronistic repetition. This is when you begin to see the same number, symbol, name, or even a specific phrase repeating itself over and over again in a short period of time. It appears in the most unexpected places. You'll be driving, and a license plate with the number 797 will be in front of you. You'll glance at the clock and it will be 7:77. You'll open a book to a random page and your eyes will land on page 77. A friend will call you and mention a story that involves the number 777. It feels uncanny, strange, almost like the universe is playing a little game with you. Most people dismiss this. They call it a coincidence. They say, "Oh, that's just the Baader-Meinhof phenomenon." Once you see something, you start noticing it everywhere. But that is a materialistic explanation for a spiritual event. The mechanism behind this is far more profound. This is the universe giving you a confirmation. In Kabbalah, we teach that the world is created and sustained through divine speech, through combinations of Hebrew letters, which are, at their essence, units of creative energy. When you are about to receive a new flow of abundance, your own spiritual frequency begins to change. You begin to vibrate at a new level. The universe, in its infinite intelligence, reflects this new vibration back to you in the form of a repeating symbol. It is the universe saying, "I see you. I see your new frequency. We are in sync. The transmission is about to begin." The repetition is not the message itself. It is the confirmation that you are tuned to the right channel to receive the message. It is the dial tone that tells you the line is open. When you experience this, do not ignore it. Stop. Acknowledge it. Say out loud, "I hear you. I am open. I am ready to receive." This act of acknowledgement strengthens the connection and prepares you for the opportunity that is about to manifest. The second sign is more challenging. It is often misunderstood and resisted. I call it the sign of uncomfortable disruption. This is when your life suddenly seems to fall apart. You lose your job, a key client leaves, a project you have been working on for months collapses, your car breaks down. It feels like a disaster. It feels like a punishment. Your immediate reaction is fear, panic, and a sense of victimhood. "Why is this happening to me?" you cry out. You are looking at the event through the lens of lack and loss. But from a higher perspective, this is often a profound blessing in disguise. The spiritual mechanism here is one of clearing and preparation. The universe cannot pour a new, abundant reality into an old, constricted container. Your old job, your old client, your old project, they were the container for your old financial reality. They were the dam holding you at a certain level of income. In order to bring you a greater flow of wealth, the universe must first break the old container. It must clear the space. The disruption is not a punishment, it is a demolition. The universe is clearing the land to build you a palace. It is taking away your crutch so that you will be forced to grow wings. When you experience a sudden, uncomfortable disruption, your first instinct will be to panic and try to patch up the old structure. Resist this urge. Instead, I want you to pause, take a deep breath, and ask a different question. Do not ask, "Why is this happening to me?" Ask, "What is this making space for? What greater good is coming into my life now that this old structure is gone?" This shift in perspective is everything. It moves you from a state of fear to a state of faithful anticipation. You stop seeing a crisis, and you start seeing a construction site. Finally, we come to the third and most powerful signal. This is the one that requires the most courage to act upon. I call it the sign of intuitive compulsion. This is a sudden, illogical, yet overwhelming urge to do something. It's a powerful gut feeling, a deep knowing in your bones that you must take a specific action. It might be an urge to call a person you haven't spoken to in 10 years. It might be a compulsion to drive down a street you never take. It might be a sudden, inexplicable desire to start a new business, write a book, or learn a new skill, even if you have no idea how you will do it. This is not a gentle suggestion. It is a powerful, persistent, and often irrational pull. Your logical mind will fight it tooth and nail. It will say, "That's crazy. That makes no sense. Where did that idea even come from?" This, my friends, is the voice of your neshama, your soul, speaking directly to you. The soul has a higher vantage point. It is connected to the divine matrix of reality. It can see the pathways that your logical mind cannot. It sees the person you need to connect with, the place you need to be, the action you need to take to intersect with the flow of abundance that is coming your way. The intuitive compulsion is the final instruction. The first two signs were confirmations and preparations. This third sign is the call to action. It is God's finger pointing you in the direction of your treasure. The mechanism here is direct, divine guidance. The Zohar teaches that every person has a mazal, a spiritual conduit through which blessings flow. The intuitive compulsion is your mazal being activated. It is a direct download from the superconscious mind. Acting on this intuition is the ultimate test of faith, not faith in an external God, but faith in the God that dwells within you. It is the test to see if you trust your soul more than you trust your fear. When this sign appears, you must act. Do not hesitate. Do not overanalyze. The window of opportunity is often very small. Make the call. Take the drive. Write the first page. The entire universe conspires to support an action that is born from a true intuitive compulsion. This is the secret key that unlocks the door to unexpected wealth. Now, I know what some of you are thinking. I can hear the voice of skepticism, the voice of the logical mind, whispering in your ear. Rabbi, this sounds like fantasy. Coincidences are just coincidences. Losing my job is just bad luck. These intuitive feelings are just random thoughts. You are trying to fit a multidimensional spiritual concept into a three-dimensional materialistic box. It will not fit. You have been conditioned your entire life to believe only in what you can see, touch, and measure with your five senses. You have been taught that reality is a cold, dead, mechanical machine. But the mystics, the prophets, and now even the quantum physicists are telling us that this is a lie. They are telling us that the universe is a living, conscious, interconnected field of information and energy. Your thoughts and your consciousness are not passive observers. They are active participants in the shaping of reality. To dismiss these signs as coincidence is the ultimate act of spiritual arrogance. It is to assume that your tiny, limited logical mind knows more about the workings of the universe than the infinite intelligence that created it. It is the ego's desperate attempt to maintain control and to deny the existence of a power greater than itself. Your choice is simple. You can cling to your skepticism and remain in your current reality, or you can have the humility to suspend your disbelief and test this for yourself. The definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over and expecting a different result. Your old way of thinking has produced your current financial situation. Are you satisfied with it? If not, are you willing to try a new way? So, what do you do now? You have the knowledge, you have the protocol. But knowledge without action is useless. It is a seed that is never planted. Starting today, I want you to become a spiritual detective. I want you to walk through your life with a new level of awareness. Carry a small notebook or use the Notes app on your phone. When you see a synchronistic repetition, write it down. When you experience an uncomfortable disruption, write down the question, what is this making space for? And when you feel that powerful intuitive compulsion, you must honor it. You must act on it. Even if it's a small action. Take the first step. This is your work. No one can do it for you. I can give you the map, but you must walk the path. The universe is speaking to you. The question is, are you finally ready to listen? Go back to the comments section right now. I want you to share one of two things. Either share a time in your past when you now realize you missed one of these signs, or declare which of the three signs you will be most vigilant for starting today. By sharing it, you make it real. You create accountability, and you will be amazed at how your stories will inspire and validate the experiences of others in this sacred community. Remember, you are not a victim of circumstance. You are a co-creator with the divine. You are far more powerful than you have been led to believe. The wealth you seek is not outside of you. It is a frequency within you. waiting to be activated. These signs are the key to that activation. May the Creator of the universe bless you with the eyes to see the hidden signs, the ears to hear the silent whispers of your soul, and the courage to act on the divine guidance that is being sent to you each and every day. May you unlock the gates of abundance that have always been your birthright, and may you use that abundance to be a blessing to your family, to your community, and to the world. Shalom.